What is up, everybody? This is 71Kicks. Welcome back. Back after a little hiatus, international break fun, and then just, we were picking things back up after the cup break as well. So, not too much action in between episodes here, folks. You didn't really miss too much. But if we were to talk about some of the stuff that happened, that international break did contain a bit of a doozy from the U.S. national team, folks. If you didn't know the score, I believe it was 5-2 or 5-1.
5-2 against Belgium.
5-2 against Belgium. Now, I mean, we could talk the level of quality in teams right there. Belgium, they got some star players. They got a solid squad. But you also look at the, just overall team that we're trying to build and the cohesion, the tactics that are trying to be put into place. This was just a terrible example of what kind of progress we're making right now under Pochettino. And man, I don't know if you saw the highlights and all that. I assume, yeah.
Yeah.
Those goals were just. It felt like there was just no sort of effort and no playing on the front foot to try and stop them from getting in. You know what I mean? Like the defense was caught on the back foot for each one of those goals.
Yeah. When I will say when I looked at the lineup, I was a little, I don't want to say concerned because it's just a friendly, but my first thought process was, holy shit! I hope this is not the lineup for the World Cup defensively.
Yeah.
I know Tim Weah's been playing a lot of right back at Marseille this season. And Jedi's, not been his best season. A large reason for that was due to injuries at the start of the season. But a core three of Tim Ream, Matt Turner, and McKenzie is not going to keep anybody out, let alone Belgium.
Right.
I will say, looking at Belgium's team, they are better than us. But I don't think they're immense levels ahead of us where we should be losing by 3 goals and conceding 5 against them. So just I think going forwards that lineup they've just shown there could never play again. That back four and keeper combination should never play again. And yeah, so that was just rough on the eyes all around, I think, to be honest.
It was, and I like you're saying, it just shows our weaknesses that we have, and I always say it. You start from the keeper, man. And Matt Turner, as much as I love him as a former Gunner, he just never impressed when he was with us. And I mean, you can say all you want that he's a former European, keeper, all that kind of stuff, and but he's just he lacks the quality that we need as a starting keeper for the U.S. men's team, and. It's such a hard position for us at least to, naturally go about finding the replacement or the starting recruiter, because again, the crop of men, American goalkeepers we got that are for
it's
where
not
they're
good.
and everything. It's not good at all. And it's just really tough, man. At the end of the day too, you got to hope that the defense you have in front of you can still do a job before it even makes it to the keeper. But still, at the end of the day, you got a job to do. And between the sticks, I don't think we could trust Turner going into the cup. And it's tough to, just even start there. So,
yeah, I mean, Tim Howard was talking about it a lot. I think he has a podcast with Donovan now or something. And he said, our goalkeeper situation is not great. I think that's saying it lightly, to be honest.
Yeah.
Obviously, Turner just kind of got randomly thrown in there after not really playing a lot for the United States recently. And, when you're playing two teams that can realistically knock you out in the World Cup, would be the favorites going against the United States going into those games. It's not what you want to see. This is your last kind of preparation for World Cup, and I know Poch is kind of figuring out the squad and who the starters are going to be. But it's not good morale or good for anything really losing that badly. I mean, I know it's just a friendly, but there's nothing. There's no positives to take away from that game besides, oh, well, we scored 2 goals, but like
Yeah.
we conceded 5 in the process, so it doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Obviously, like but the other side of the art coin is that okay, well, Freese has earned his starting spot, but in terms of like an international career, Freese is a baby. Like he's only played like I think 12 or 13 games for the United States now. I mean, he had the Gold Cup, but like he's not an experienced goalkeeper really by any means. Like he's not even that experienced in from an MLS standpoint. Like I mean, I think maybe he's been around for quite a few years now, but like I wouldn't call him like an experienced MLS goalkeeper. Like I guess some I'm more I'm like a bigger MLS fan than I am might disagree with me on that, but like he plays. He doesn't exactly look like he's number one material. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's kind of BA or B1 and B2. Like we don't really have a true like a goalkeeper, which is just unfortunate because like you think about the history of the United States in the goalkeeper position over the last 25 years, and for a while we had a goalkeeper and just not much else. Like
Yeah.
we had Howard,
Literally,
we
exactly.
had Brad Friedel. Like I mean, I give him a lot of shit all the time, but like even Guzan had a decent
Yep.
spell in Europe for a little bit, not great or anything. I think I'm missing somebody too, but like you had goalkeepers. Like if Tim Howard was in this team right now, maybe not the modern goalkeeper but like we shouldn't be playing out the back from our goalkeeper.
Right.
Like we as United States, like going into games like these ones we just played, we want a shot stopper. We don't want a guy that wants the ball at his feet. We shouldn't be trying to play out the back against these teams. Like, and I know that's not maybe that's not the mentality to have, but like that's how teams cause upsets in tournament football. They don't necessarily park the bus, but like they approach the games with defensive minded approaches, and then they take then they create chances when they can, and then if they go down, then they open up a little bit more. But like you stay in these kinds of games, it's like it doesn't matter if it's the Prem, like if you're playing one of the big six minus Tottenham. Doesn't matter if you're playing Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. When you're a lesser club, like when you play these kinds of games, you don't just go like I mean maybe you press a little bit, but like you don't take a attacking minded approach to those kinds of games. You have to take your chances when they come, and if you find some momentum or find some stuff there, then you go forward from there. But until then, like you just kind of bide your time, take your chances when they come, and just focus on defensive solidity. And I understand Poch as a coach is a very high level coach. Um, he's coached in a Champions League final. Not necessarily the biggest winner, but like he's a Ligue 1 champion. It's with PSG, so take it with a grain of salt. But like he's a guy that's produced some quality football from some teams. Like he made Spurs look way better than they've ever looked,
Oof,
probably
my God.
ever. Like I mean, granted, the fact they never won anything with Poch and that team is kind of a crime. Um,
They made it
but
to that Champions League final, though.
yeah,
Right there.
but you know, at the end of the day, like at some point we got to make a decision uh, from a tactic standpoint about how to play in certain games. And I think the Portugal game, although it wasn't great, it was a lot better in terms of what we should be looking like from a setup standpoint. How should we be looking at going into these games and and like so on and so forth. But like, granted, we didn't create a lot from the attacking standpoint. I think for us to really have a good game overall, we're going to need our best 11 out there. And they're all going to have to be playing at their best. Obviously, like they're always just take these with a grain of salt because they're friendlies. Um, so then and everybody's not trying to get hurt in a friendly, especially at this point in the season when they got a lot going on with their clubs. They don't want to get hurt before World Cup in general. So I don't want to read too much into these games, but like going into the tournament, it's not positive signs. Not that I expect.
Yeah.
Obviously, anybody really is expecting us to win. Obviously, they're going to give interviews and say, "Oh, we're trying to win." Like you don't go to the World Cup and not try to win. But like I don't know, like quarterfinal, like which I would felt happy about. Like that's looking like a stretch
Oh
at this
no,
point.
completely. Like getting through any sort of like knockout phase in that first round is going to be an uphill challenge. Like especially too. It goes back to what you guys keep talking about with how it feels like we have no sort of home support like standings. Like we have no home field advantage wherever we're going right now in these two games that we just played with Portugal and Belgium. Like again, it just felt like there was no identity to wherever we were at, and we just had no connection with the supporters where we were playing. You know, and like I guess we'll have some different kind of momentum when the cup starts. I guess you know what I mean, because like it will be that home territory and like the stakes will be there. But again, like it's just going to be the tour of the country of this like mediocre team that we got right now. That's just underperforming and yeah, it's just going to have a hard time through this run. But you know, we I don't even know, man. Like we got to just like look at the positives that are somewhat coming through. Like I mean, so Balogun is on a tear. He's scored in like 6 goals in 6 games, which is great for the front line. Um, you know, Pulisic is still doing decent numbers, but it's hard to be optimistic
Yeah,
about the game right now with
yeah.
just every. You could see me in my attire right now too. I'm pretty emo right now after the game I just had to sit around and watch today. Like I have no, there's nothing positive that's coursing through these veins with this game at the moment. You know, so I'm just we're just on a ride. We're going through the motions.
I will say there is one team that did have one nation that had a much more abysmal international break than us. Um, Italy missing their third straight World Cup,
Oh my
um,
god! Yeah, I didn't even
which
think about bringing
is
that up. Oh my
which
god!
is just from a systemic standpoint. We talk about the issues in U.S. soccer and all the problems in U.S. soccer.
Right.
I don't know if there's ever been a larger mess of any like sporting federation ever than what is the state of the Italian national team right now.
I would even say it stretches as far as into the the Serie A and what's going on there
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
league play. You
well,
know.
I think every Italian fan will tell you the problem isn't just with the national team. It's top to bottom the Italian FA,
Yeah.
the way Serie A is set up right now, the fact that young Italian players aren't getting a lot of chances. And I think the best way to just like to show that off is Como. If you look at Como in Serie A, I believe they're sitting right now. They're in fourth place.
Yeah.
I don't think they have an Italian in their squad, and they rely on young players to help them progress as well and compete. And I'm not saying the Italians should pull a full on Chelsea where they're just trying to only focus on youth talent because obviously you do need that mixed experience, and as we're seeing with Chelsea being the perfect example of why just signing a bunch of 10-year-olds like it's career mode doesn't work. Um, but just from a systemic standpoint, like the fact that a 20-year-old who looks like a world class player ends up going and playing Serie B or doesn't ever get a chance is a problem. And like some of the bigger teams have like Yildiz for example, like obviously he's not Italian, but he's getting a chance as a young player. Like Nico Paz left Real Madrid to go play for Como to get a chance as a young player. Um, and like the Italians don't focus on their youth. Like Andrea Cambiaso is a fantastic young talent. And he's probably going to leave Juventus in the summer if I had to guess. Probably go to City or one of the big clubs that's been after him for a little bit now because they just don't progress talents in Italy like they should.
Hmm.
And like Michael Coyote from Brentford, for example, fans were calling for him to get called up to the national team because he's been playing very well in the Premier League this season, and they didn't call him up. And obviously, if you talk about the game itself, Bastoni made a moronic decision to dive in there. Like, I still stand by it. It's better to trust your goalkeeper or trust your team as a whole to not go down than to trust your team with 10 men. It'll always be my opinion. Like, unless it's like the last minute of the game and you're up 1-0 and they're going to score, or like you're very confident they're going to score, create a chance, and it's not going to be a penalty. Like then I'm for a red card there. But if
Right.
you got over half the game to play still, and you decide, like we're only up a goal, like I'm going to take them out. Like I'd rather they just score and you're tied 1-1 than you try to hold a 1-0 lead with 10 men
Yeah.
the rest of the game. Like, and they were bad. Like, Italy was bad in that game. Like, the only one that can really hold their head up high, I wouldn't even say high, like medium high, is Moise Keane, because he scored, but then he also missed a really big chance. So, like, they had a chance when they were down a man, and he had a chance to make it 2-0, which probably would have been enough for them to see it out. And he didn't. Like, DeMarco, who's been great in Serie A all season, looks terrible. Like, was awful. Couldn't do anything defensively against the Bosnian players. But just overall, like, just to sum it up, like, for a country that's won the World Cup 4 times, the fact that they're gonna go will be, if they make it in 2030, like, 16
Right.
years without playing a World Cup game is just inexcusable.
Yeah. Especially
Um,
with, like, the talent they have of Donnarumma sitting in that, like,
yeah,
it's this trying to think of some of the other teams that, like, have some of these high profile players that haven't made it to a cup yet. Like Holland is playing his first World Cup this year. It's like
yeah,
it's some of these generational players that are within these teams that are just getting caught in, like, these tough systems, and, like, it's a crazy comparison to make there, because Norway has been, like, on that climb up. You know what I mean? Like, and they've been earning that place in the national team spot. So, like, to see the progress they've made versus Italy's, like, regression is just like,
yeah,
it's crazy, and it's just the sign of the times, like you're saying. When you have systems that have been in place, like, almost institutionally. You know what I mean? Like, they've been, like, that's just been the fundamental way that Italy has been relying on, like, the talent that's grown in, and, like, their older players, but it's just not working for them anymore. Because the players that they're relying on don't have that caliber of competing. And
yeah.
yeah, like you're saying, could be the first World Cup for Donnarumma at, how old will he be? Like 26 or 30 at that point,
I
and
think
it'll
it'll
be
be
2030.
30. I
Yeah,
think it'll
30
be 30
something,
by then.
right?
He'll either be 30 or 31 or
Yeah.
something crazy that just shouldn't be the case for a goalkeeper of that quality.
No, exactly. Like, he's honestly, he's got to see if he's got any sort of American heritage, and he'll just
Yeah,
come play for us this summer. Like, we
right.
gotta put in a transfer request.
Yeah.
Do the
I think it's
what
long
is the
gone, unfortunately,
it
but
is. What's the Chappelle Show skit though? The draft. We'll just
oh,
draft Donnarumma.
yeah.
We'll do a trade.
But like it's even crazier thinking about like the fact that like they added teams to the World Cup this year. Like it's
Literally,
48. They added
exactly.
16 teams. I know those all aren't European spaces, but like
Right.
I think they added at least 6 European spots. And you told me you weren't even the next best six. Like Sweden even fucking made it.
Right. Sweden making it. Like,
Like
it's
like they didn't win a
out of
game. And literally didn't win a single game in qualifiers. And then because
right.
of like the Nations League, and then they decided, oh, we'll lock in. Fucking Jokeres, you can finally scored a clutch goal for the first time in his life.
It's crazy, and it was
Like,
that was a fun sort of, like, passing of the torch kind of game series there too. It was either Lewandowski going to his what would be his last cup, or the next generation of strikers with Jokeres going. So that was a fun sort of series that we saw there.
yeah,
But yeah, international break full of some fun and surprises there. Last one of the season, so we got another 7 weeks of or I can't speak, club ball to play here. We saw some good FA Cup action over the weekend.
well, some of
Chelsea
us did.
clobbering. I don't know what you're talking about. Southampton came in, and it's always great seeing lower league opposition coming in and playing teams that are in the league above them, and showing up and doing well like that. You got to just be happy for a team like that, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Southampton did a great job beating some scrubs, and then what else?
City played Liverpool off the pitch like it was
Oh
like
my
not like
god!
it was nothing. Holland hat trick.
All right,
Um,
did I see this morning that Slot's going to leave at the end of the season? Was that a BS headline on Instagram,
I
or
did not see that, but I was not really looking at too much news today, if I'm being
yeah?
completely honest.
I didn't see it anywhere else, but it could be a rumor that's in the mix right now that he'll step away at the end of the season. So if that were to happen. It just shows the fraud that he was, a bald fraud, winning the league with an inherited squad, and
Yep. He tried
that's
to
how
make his
that
own
goes.
changes, and they all backfired on him, seemingly.
Exactly.
So
Yep. All his changes and signings. Um, yeah, you guys had a belter in that FA
yeah,
Cup round though.
um,
7 goals or something.
yeah, 7-0. Obviously, it's Port Vale. They're the worst team in League One at the moment.
Hey,
Um,
you take the wins
so
when you
you,
get them.
you know you'll take not a free place, but you'll take a place at Wembley for the semifinal. Gotta
Who do
take
you
care
got?
of
West Ham.
Leeds, so you gotta take care of business with Leeds.
All right.
But like just not to throw too much shade at Arteta, but I do feel like we have to talk about Arteta after that game. Um, but that Rosenior showed what you do when you have a chance to play at Wembley is you just play your best players. Obviously, Enzo's on a suspension by Chelsea for some of the comments he was making about Real Madrid over international break, seemingly flirting with them, and you know, whether it's showing his frustrations with the club or whatever he's trying to do there. Um, but some of the players have been asking for him to come back into the team for the City game, which I don't necessarily disagree with because I think we need
Yeah,
everything we can if we want to make top five. Because I
yep,
think it's going to be top five this season.
it is. Yeah,
Um, so, but
the
yeah,
win that
I
we scrapped out today secured top five for Champions League for the Premier. But
perfect. So shout out
yeah,
Arsenal for
man.
something.
Yeah,
Um, but
something there.
I do want to talk about Arteta and that
Listen, yeah,
disaster
we
class
can.
that he put through in on Saturday.
So
Um,
I'm down for some talk there because, like,
well, I want to
I
I want to know
yeah,
your
go for it.
opinion
Yeah,
first as an
yeah.
Arsenal
Go shoot.
fan, and then I'll give my take on it afterwards.
All right. So those past 3 games we had were the Carabao Cup final, the FA Cup, and then today in the Champions League. That was an L, and what nearly was a draw if it weren't for a 91st minute goal from Kai Havertz. But I just sat through, what is that? 90, 180,
270.
270 minutes of some of the worst ball I've watched in a minute. All right. Now, I've been I've been doing my best as a supporter with like supporting the tactics and the decisions from the management and everything like that. But for 3 games in a row to watch the approach that he took and to scrap this win out today is just it's killing me. And I don't think I'm going to watch a game and go out of my way to watch for the rest of the season because I was so goddamn frustrated today watching that game, and I am just at my wits end with it. Like, if we can win a title at the end of the season, like we've been saying, go for it. Whatever it takes. If we got to sacrifice our style of play for this kind of the tactical approach and everything like that, I've been saying it all year. I'm fine with doing that if it wins something at the end of the season. But so far, in 2 out of those 3 games, they were cup games, trophy games, and we've been eliminated from both of those competitions now. And the most impressive player out of 2 of those 3 games was a 16-year-old coming off the bench in one of those games and starting in the other. And it is just unfucking believable the lack of just any sort of effort, commitment forward. Like, the team is just toothless right now, is the best way to describe it. We're toothless in attack, and it takes, some possession from Rice deep in the back to run it up the field, bypass Odegaard, because all he's been fucking doing in the game today is side passing and backward passing with no turn on the ball. And, like, man, dude, like, this has been tough. This has been really fucking tough, especially after that Carabao Cup game. Losing to City in that way was just, oh my god. And again, if it wins trophies, it wins trophies. But right now, that's 2 out of the 4. And again, quadruple was unreal. Like, it's you throw it around because it's the opportunity is there. Realistically, I think I was saying this too. Do we do it? I don't think so. The idea of a quadruple is not there anymore. The main priority is the priority that has been there for the past 5 years is the league. So right now, just put all the focus that you can into winning 7 more games in the Premier League. 7 games. Go out there and just get the results, and then get your trophy. That's the hardest trophy you can win, and after all this time, and then do another good Champions League run. If we can make it to the semi again and play Barca or Atleti or whoever it is, that's great. And if we can get a good showing, fine. But god damn it, this shit has just been impossible to just stomach. With again, like it's not. It's just so tough because it's the state of where I'm at is just coming off of these results. You know what I mean? Like you're seeing a bad result, and so you're like, all right, we got to turn it around. We got to come out and show something after that, and then you come out and get eliminated from another cup, and so then it's like, all right, we got eliminated, but that's because we got outscored in that game, which was the problem. And so it's something we got to work on. Why don't we go out and just outscore Sporting? Let's get bag 2 or 3. That'd be great. Instead, we scrap out the 1-0, to the Arsenal, and it's just, when is it gonna? If it doesn't show at the end of the season, we're gonna know, when is it enough? This isn't enough anymore.
Yeah.
And I saw something this morning. Again, it could have been another bullshit thing on Instagram, but like there's some internal talks, especially after getting eliminated by Southampton. It was just such a disaster of a showing from Arteta that there's losing faith, and if he doesn't get any sort of silverware, that he could see his way out. And at this point, it's just not shocking. If that is to happen, it's the result of his failures and the team's failures, sure, but all of it comes down to the tactics. It comes down to the manager and what he's been doing, because you have a squad that's there. You have a squad that can do these things. It's just that they're so disciplined in a good, which is insane to say too. You have a squad that is so like to the T, to the book of what they're being instructed to do, and you don't have a single fringe player that's like taking the game by the scruff and doing it themselves. But like you'll see Declan do it here and there, like I said, or again the 16-year-old that has the fresh sort of like face and IQ to just go do what he wants on the field and make something happen. So I don't. It's like I'm saying. I'm not wearing any colors. I'm not doing shit for the rest of the season unless it's the big games. Like I can't. If we win something, we win it. But I need that spark again. That Everton game with the Dalman goal was a great thing there, and it looked like that was going to lead us to a cup win. But we again we need. We're back to square one here, and I've been seeing the graph of our win percentages with under Arteta through his career, and of course April is his lowest win percentage month. He's got 41% wins in April, so it's gonna be a long month, my friend. It's gonna be a long month. All right.
Yeah. Obviously, like just going over the games, cup final, playing Kepa is just a terrible decision. I understand he helped get you there. He was the competition keeper.
He's
When
not
you have
playing
the
another game
no,
for the Gunners.
when you
He
have
just got eliminated from both of his cups. That's it.
yeah, when you have a chance to win a cup, you play your starting goalkeeper. I know City didn't play their starting goalkeeper, but like when you have a chance to win a cup, you play your starting goalkeeper. Or
And
you better have a good enough game elsewhere on the pitch that it doesn't matter that you didn't play your starting goalkeepers, which City did in the final.
right,
Same thing this weekend. Can't really put all the blame on Kepa, but like when you have a chance to go to Wembley, you play maybe not your best lineup if you're playing lower level competition, but you played pretty much like pretty damn close to it. But you didn't do that either.
right.
Obviously Ben White had a horror mistake on the one. I think it was the first goal. But once again, like you play your best lineup or somewhat very close to it at the very least, and secure yourself. You don't play a half-ass lineup because you're playing lesser competition and think you can just breeze by because you've been playing well all season. And then today, I was more focused on the Madrid Bayern game.
Yes,
This is a
exactly.
hell of a game today, by the way.
Right. Like
Um,
I'm watching the simulcast and I'm paying more attention to the Bayern game because it's a more open play game and you're watching. And again, it's the levels, like
yeah,
everyone joked about our side being the Europa League bracket. And I felt like I was just watching. It was the clear signs of levels in the competition. Like we are not at the level that we should be playing at. And especially like I heard the announcer saying at one point, it's like, oh, there was a respectable half. Teams were respecting each other, not really doing. It's like bullshit. Respect,
To say it
enough
was
respect, man.
boring, lack of creativity, like, and I really think that is what more than anything, what is killing Arsenal's attack right now is the lack of a true creator on that pitch. Because I look at the team, I'm like, okay, when Saka's on, sure, but like Saka really hasn't. It's despite the good performances this season, Saka really hasn't looked anywhere close to the best we've seen out of him ever. Which is like why when I keep hearing all the English fans say, "Oh, has to start the World Cup." I'm like, why does he have to start at the World Cup? Um, but like Madueke, I've seen Madueke. He's not exactly a creator. He tries things, but he's not. He's very confident in his own ability, but like he's
He's
not a
passable,
yeah, he's not a I'm going to pick out a crazy pass from out of nowhere
right?
and set up a goal kind of player. He's just not. He's a dribbler. I'm going to get into the box, try to play one across. My right foot sucks, so it's never going to get to the player. It's going to get cleared out 20 times out of 20. Um, Trossard, not exactly creator. Martinelli, he's the shimmy god. He just shimmies on the wing and tries to just sprint by people.
But then,
Gyökeres, it's not his job to create goals. His job is to finish them. But when you don't get the correct service, so as much as I like to rip on Gyökeres, I do think the lack of creativity has hurt him this season. And he's shown like when he's given the opportunities, you can bury them. And just getting him the opportunities from a midfield perspective. Rice isn't expected shouldn't be your creative midfielder. He does so many other things well, but that's not his job. Odegaard, he should be the one creating chances, and I think I never see him create anything besides backwards passing, or backwards sideways.
yeah,
And then obviously Zubomendi's more of your six, where he's not
right,
really supposed to create chances. He's supposed to help dictate. He's doing the things that Odegaard's wants to do, but like Odegaard shouldn't be doing those things. He should be picking his head up with the ball, driving more, trying to pick out passes in between the lines, get players in behind, like take shots himself. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just, I just think like, we keep saying Arsenal linked with like, Julian Alvarez and these other players that are more natural goal scorers more than playmakers. And it's like, I think you need a creator in this team. I'm not sure which direction you go just based off the style of play, but like, that's what this team is missing right now.
yep,
I think you need probably another winger that just creates a little bit more dangerous. Like Trossard's good, but he's not, he's not gonna pick up the ball from 20 yards out, driving to the ball box and either
no,
get a shot off or pass it off. Martinelli, like I said, he's a shimmy god. He just looks to take it to the byline every time and cross it. Madueke kind of just always looks to get onto his left foot.
yeah.
If he
We have
can't, then there's some issues there with him.
we have some rumors linking us with uh Kvaratskhelia, but like that dude, it'd be hard to pull him away from PSG, and I think that's just a lot of fan chatter trying to manifest
Yeah,
that because like that's a perfect sort of player to get for us. But I know exactly what you mean. Like we have a team that is so defensively minded and again tactically drilled that they are just going out and grinding these wins out, and it's not pretty football. And we need more catalyst players to come in and make it happen because they're just not here right now. Like I mean, I'm gonna always say it for my boy. Like he came on again as a super sub, a European night for Martinelli, and he got the assist for a beautiful assist to lead into Havertz there. But again, like it's we need more than just moments of inspiration and that come in ones. Like we need more output. We need more just chances created. Like again, it was the possession stat came up. We had like 59, 60%, and they had 48, and it was the same amount of chances, like 3 chances at some point in the game for each of us. And it's like, again, it doesn't fucking matter how much we pass around the ball in the back and, control the possession. Because at the end of it, if we're not creating these chances or at least putting the ball in the box to try and score, it's going to be the same fucking game on paper. And at the end, it was almost the same game, a 0-0. But
yeah,
by the end of it, I was rooting for Portugal, man, because we need a fucking wake up call. We need if we lost today, or at least, yeah, if we lost, it would have been a huge just moment of like, okay, got to get our shit in gear. I was saying it the whole time. 1-0 to Port. 1-0. 1-0. Sporting. Let's go. At one point, it was that double save from Raya, and I was cheering like they were about to score. I'm like, yes, come on, because it's just like this team needs. It's this team and Arteta need to fucking learn a lesson at some
They
point.
they need to wake up, and the
They need to
fact
wake
that
up.
like the cup
I don't know where they're
final
at.
and the FA Cup the other day was not enough of a lesson, that I just don't know if it's gonna come. And like
Nope.
the gap, like I said, like yes, the gap right now in the Premier League is 9 points between City and Arsenal. It still could be three. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like two wins from City, and that gap is three. Granted, City have to win out, and it might just be too much at this point for City to catch up to put it. But I don't think it's over. And that's like what I said. Like
No,
I
it's not.
granted, like the Everton game, like that was a huge win for Arsenal. It was a huge win for title implications. And City did not win that weekend, I believe. But like, and it's just like if City really lock in and play like how they have the last couple games or so now, like how they did against Liverpool, how they did against Arsenal, like this title's not over. And
Yeah.
they got a much tougher schedule left than Arsenal does, and I don't like as much as I love the joke around about the bottle job, and I had the bottlers Arsenal jersey loaded up and ready to send to the group chat. I'm like, you know what? I'll just let them be. I'll let them be today. Like I'm having a good day. I'll let them be today.
Yeah.
I had it loaded up, ready to go, but I'm like, no, I'll be a better person today. Um,
Uh,
but I just like as much as I joke around about it, I just don't know if there's enough time or enough games left. But like if it happens, I'm not going to be surprised.
yeah.
Like, and
It's the
that's what it comes
what it
down to
is
for me.
too, and it's everything we just said. City have playmakers. City have ballers on their squad. Wherever you look right now, like it was just announced Silva's going to leave at the end of the season, but Silva always going to be a reliable guy. You can always throw him on the pitch. He's going to make something happen.
Like
This
they got
fucking Ryan
Cherky, some
Kurtrowski is going insane, and that fucker. Oh my god! Don't even get me started on him. He did the dribble against us in that game, and I wanted to just strangle
to
him. But
keep
at the
me
same
up.
time, we deserve that shit. And the
Yeah,
dude is just going around playing football for fun right now.
yeah,
And that is, he just makes it look effortless. And
yeah,
that's like, it's the fact that the City again, like their recruitment and how they can find these guys, and it's a whole different conversation again too. They financially can just make it happen and sign everybody whoever they want and make it and do whatever they want. But like again, they're it just goes to their how they're able to discover these players. Like again, Marmouche, dude, he's sitting on the bench and he's
yeah.
not playing
Right.
that well right now.
Like,
But I mean, throw him on at any point and he could show up. That guy, don't underestimate Marmouche. Holland, everyone was shitting on him for not scoring, and then what he's going to do? He scores a hat trick against Liverpool. It's like don't even talk shit about this team. You can't
yeah,
because they
no,
are a machine and they can do exactly as you said, win out for the rest of the season, and we could stumble along the way. So
yeah.
all it takes is they have their game in hand. They have a game against us in the league, and if they win both of those, again,
Then the
3 point
pressure's
gap.
on. The
Pressure is on us
pressure is on.
totally,
And
and
they don't have anything. I mean, they have the FA Cup still, but they don't have Champions League to worry about.
right
Where Arsenal, they got to find a way to balance both of those, or they got to pick one to lock in on and really focus on. But the expectation is going to be to go for both. Um,
at this
and then,
point, yeah,
granted, like looking at Arsenal, like okay, so they're going to the Emirates next. They're good. They'll get past Sporting. Like Sporting did the typical like, all right, let's get to the round of 16 or the quarterfinal as a Portuguese team, and then we'll get knocked out. Like that's what Portuguese teams.
yeah.
There's always one that gets like a favorable run, and makes their way into the quarterfinal. It's whether it's Porto, Benfica, Sporting. One of them always seems to do it every year. Um, they get knocked out, and then they probably are going to have to play Barca. All which I would assume, and I can see Arsenal beating Barca just on the fact that like I
Right.
think that Barca play that high line that I think kind of suits Arsenal. If they play quick enough, like it's definitely suits Martinelli because he can just run in a straight line and go for the far right corner like he always does to try to place it in the slot in that corner.
But then we
Um,
make it past them. Who do we see in that final? A
uh,
Bayern Munich team that is just looking like another machine that's out there in
or
Europe right now.
PSG,
Or
who's
PSG.
a machine. Or if Real Madrid come back, just Real Madrid in the Champions League, which I
They
think that'd
scored
be,
today. It
yeah,
was a 2-1 win.
I think that'd be the most favorable matchup of the three for you guys. But like once again though, like Madrid in a Champions League final,
Yeah,
I'm just backing Madrid every time. Like I don't think they've
yeah.
lost one of the last like 10 or whatever, something
I don't think
ridiculous or
so.
whatever it is. Like it's a ridiculous stat for them in Champions League finals. They're like I think
Yeah.
they're like 15-1 all time in Champions League finals or something just ridiculous. Um, but yeah, so it's just like even if they get by Barca and make it to the final, which I is a big if because even though I think there's stylistically there's chances for Arsenal there to be had, and like I think in the air, like off of corners, Arsenal that suits Arsenal very well also because I think I don't really know if anybody on that team is really going to mark Gabriel and Saliba to the level that they need to, just the size that Arsenal have in their team in general. Um, but once they get to the final, like I don't really like them in any of the other matchups, especially in a one-off game. Like I mean, obviously anything can happen,
Exactly.
but like Bayern just looks so good right now.
They do.
They just look the way we looked at PSG last year. I'm not saying they're quite that level necessarily, but like Olise's on literally on pace to break the most assists in a single count, like a single season record.
Right.
Who's held double the by Messi with 31 each.
And
Like
Diaz has his highest goaling tally
yeah,
so far ever. It's like
Kane
25 goals or 20 goals or something like
Yeah,
that.
Kane's the Balloon d'Or favorite right now, probably.
Yeah.
The way things are going, at least. Like it's just, granted, obviously, it's such a weird year for Balloon d'Or because World Cup just changes things so
Yeah.
much. Um, but like it's just that front three, especially, and then you think of like people that haven't really been playing as much. You think of like Serge Gnabry's been playing well. He's been playing a lot, but then they don't have Musiala playing a lot right now. He's coming off an
Right.
injury still,
Just coming
trying to
back.
get his legs back. You got a young Leonard Carl who's been very good this season and very explosive and very eager to impress in this team. Like you got Upamecano who's playing probably the best ball we've ever seen him play. Like and Jonathan Tah seems like a great partner for him. Like Neuer made a lot of really good saves today. Kimmich is always Joshua Kimmich. Like Conrad Leimer's been playing well. Pavlovic is a great young talent. Like Bayern is just a well-driven and well-oiled machine by Vincent Company, which all credit to Vincent Company because man, look what he could fucking do with a team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like not a Burnley. Like I mean, we saw a flash of with Burnley when they were in the championship, but like with this quality of player that he has, like yeah, the players you have are good, but like you still have to put them in the right tactics and get the right system for them. And like, especially Olise, man, like holy shit, that guy is fucking good.
Yeah.
And I knew the second we didn't get him because Chelsea was looking at them and he chose Bayern over us.
Yep.
I don't fucking blame him. But it's like
No, you
it was
can't.
like having to watch Madueke last year and Pedro Neto instead of fucking Michael Olise. Drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I know it was the players. I think it was just the players' decision at the end of the day. But man, that guy is fucking good.
Yeah, dude. Like the uphill battle we have in the in the Champions League and the league. It's just again not looking good. I don't have high prospects. I'm not trying to rally any sort of like war cries throughout the rest of it. I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the ride. Whatever happens, happens. But it is going to be an entertaining run in. Especially with this Champions League run too. I think we got to have some good matchups and good stuff to see for the rest of this run. Barca Atletico tomorrow is going to be nice, and then it's is it PSG Liverpool?
Yeah, that's gonna be bad.
Dude,
I think that's gonna be really bad.
dude, you got no
Especially
Allison.
yeah, especially with the
Oh
way
man,
PSG played against us. Because Liverpool's pretty much in the same spot right now. Like, I mean, they're still probably a little bit better defensively just because they still have Van Dijk, even though he's not really playing at the level that we're used to of him, like we're accustomed to with him. At least their center backs are better than ours.
yeah,
Um,
but still, they
but
are.
man, that I think it's gonna be ugly. Like, there's gonna be another ugly one. Like, I'm thinking like 3-0. I don't even know who's home, but like I'm gonna go 3-0 either way. Like, or
Yeah,
3-1 maybe. Like PSG's home. I just got the word like, yeah, like especially coming off the performance they came off of. Like, I think it's gonna be like 3-1 4-1. Like, and maybe that's just me coping and seeing what they did to Chelsea and having PTSD.
plus,
But
PSG also has a break in between these two games
yep,
because
because the League One is a
yeah,
fucking
from
McDonald Uber Eats League
Yeah,
fuckers.
it's ridiculous. They
Just
they're just like, oh
what
yeah, we got a
what
crunch team
horse
in the
shit.
Champions League. Yeah, why not? We'll delay their game.
Like
They'll have an easier run.
what
Sure.
absolute fucking horse shit.
I've never in my life,
Like what the
never in my
fuck
life.
are it's just fucking. I mean, not that it was gonna make a difference either way for Chelsea. Like they could have
No,
played three
exactly.
games in
Yeah.
between the two games and they still would have fucking pounced us 4-0. But
Oh, completely. Yeah.
it's just like, come on, like
Yeah.
give us a little bit of a chance. Like don't give them a fucking break. Like what the
Right.
fuck?
Like I feel like that's what the Champions League did for Arsenal, at least with our side in the bracket. It's like, all right, you know what? Here, just take some of these games. Go if you want to make it to a final, play these guys and just do your best. And even with what the hand we were dealt, we made it so hard against Bordeaux Glimt, and now this. It's just like this is unbelievable. So
Yeah. But
listen, I'm just gonna be shacking up. I'm joining everybody on the Fire Red reboot, and I'm just playing on my
hey,
Game Boy instead of my Nintendo Switch. We're about to play the Elite Four. I just gotta drill my Pokemon up to some level 50s in there. But
which starter did you go with?
I never do this. I went with Charmander. I got a Charizard right now.
Oh,
I never got. I'm such a Squirtle
oh,
guy because I love Blastoise so much. You can't beat a turtle with two cannons on his shoulders. But I already got all of the what's it called, legendary birds. So they round out the team, and I got a Snorlax and what is it, Kabuto as well. So that
okay. That's an
it's
interesting
a solid
squad.
squad. It's a solid
Yeah,
squad there. They're just going in to do some work and damage, and that's it. So
yeah, fair enough.
yeah, that's where my interest is right now. Get out of here with this
Yeah,
terrorist Arteta ball, man. I'm done with it. I'm so done.
yeah.
But we got Premier League returning this weekend. Some league fixtures this upcoming weekend. No league fixture for PSG, so they can go sit on an egg. But we'll have more to come after this weekend. Some interesting stuff to see how the league shakes up. Not even worth talking about because they've been such a disaster. But Tottenham's got their new manager.
What a
So
weird how did they get to Zerbi? Like what a weird
he must have.
like,
I think he signed like a fat contract too, like 3 to 5 years or something like that.
like he
So
doesn't
he
have a
doesn't get back.
relegation clause in his contract, I think I
No,
saw. So like
no,
he's there. If they sign him, he's there and they get relegated. Like he must obviously he's in his mind like I'm good enough where we're not going to get relegated. And I think
yeah,
in terms of what was available and who they could have got from a quality of manager standpoint, I think he's pretty much as good as they could have got.
yeah. He's
Um,
as Tottenham of a Tottenham manager you can get on the market,
yeah.
and if he rallies them, like I think they went 5 games without a win recently with their last manager. So it's do or die for Tottenham,
Yeah.
but that's going to be an interesting watch over these next couple of weeks. This relegation battle, the battle for the league for Arsenal and City right down their necks. We'll see if it happens, but keep tuning in with us, folks. We'll keep recapping you and talking over some of the game like this. And then before you know it, we got World Cup, baby. World Cup's going to be coming right around the corner.
Oh, damn time.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for that. I was just thinking about it before. I was just like,
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm ready to just wash all this league crap and all the season out the window, so that we could just dive into a summer of cup games and
It's the
fresh
perfect,
tournament.
especially as a fan of a country that realistically has zero chance to win.
Oh yeah,
It's so refreshing just to get to watch all these games and just
all of them.
enjoy. And
Exactly. You just sit back.
there's like 104 games too. Like this year, it's just gonna be. I mean, there's gonna be so much bullshit around the tournament, but at the end of the day, like there was in Qatar too, and then the actual games were just incredible.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's all we can sit here and hope for is that as bad as everything else is, that the actual quality of the games themselves are fantastic, and that's all we
As
can.
noisy as it can be
Yeah.
around it, like it's still going to be the beautiful game at the end of the day that we
Yep.
love.
And
So
as long as the atmospheres are what they should be,
yeah,
it'll be fun for everyone, including the people that don't know a lick about the sports. So
yeah. So we'll wait for that. But we'll see y'all next week. This is Alec and Zach here. We'll have Brandon back soon. The man is on a vacation with his honey enjoying Paris.
Fucking France.
Lucky man, that lucky man.
Yeah, it must be nice, man.
Yeah. But that's it for us, y'all. We'll see you next time, next week. Enjoy. Do other things besides watch Arsenal these days. Do anything else.
Literally anything. Literally anything.
It's a labor. It's a chore. Peace out, everybody.